friends. This afternoon we want to talk about the ballot or the bullet. The ballot or the bullet explains itself. We have a fight that's common to all of us. We suffer political oppression, economic exploitation, and social degradation. Today it's time to stop singing and start swinging.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning.
Hello.
First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
My name is Paul B. He's Buddy to God.
Hey, Paul B.
It is March 19, 2025. Thanks for thinking of us and coming on in for a fresh edition of First Sky Omaha in the morning.
Yeah, in the morning.
Feeling pretty good. Pops is in the chat already. Good Wednesday morning, First Sky, and mad love from Las Vegas. Appreciate you, Pops. Miss Erica Felt gives us a good morning. What's happening? How the baby's doing today? What's going on with you?
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. Yep. Thanks for everybody coming in early. We have a great show coming up today. We have special guest Precious McKesson that will be on. We'll be politicking with P today.
Hey, man, it's been a while.
It's been a while, but tis the season. This is election season, and everybody is really gearing up for what's going on there, including all the different parties. Democratic Party is chiming up a lot these days, and not to mention these races that are happening right now with city council. For those of you that don't know, District 2, where we do a lot of our discussion, is running 9 candidates. So I think I'm finding it pretty interesting as we're going around filming the candidates, actually getting to know the candidates. We're going to have some videos up soon on that, but we're getting to know the candidates and finding out all the reasons why they're deciding to run, what they see the problems are in District 2. Interesting conversations going on behind the scenes for sure. And then, of course, we got the mayoral race coming up, too. That's all that everybody's paying really close attention to these days. So,
yeah, man. Tis the season.
Tis the season. We'll be talking about it, but we'll be talking about some other things, too. First and foremost, how you doing this morning, buddy?
Man, I'm all right. How am I doing? Yeah, haven't really, man. I just woke up and got to work.
That's how it goes.
But yeah. That's how it goes. But I'm feeling good. Yeah, I'm here. Yeah,
Good,
looking forward to today's conversation. Has been a while since we caught up with Precious, so looking forward to that. But other than that, life is all right. Just plugging away on these things. Busy, head deep in these edits. So looking forward to getting on the other side of that. But yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
Well, like you said, we're here. Everybody's kind of here. Like Miss Erica Feld is saying, they're at their home today. It's too wild out. Those that you haven't looked outside, there is thunderstorms and things going on, and sleet, snow. OPS put out an alert. No intercession learning for activities Wednesday, March 19th. TAC building closed, it looks like, as well. I saw a one that Charles Drew put out, said on Wednesday, March 19th, due to inclement weather, we are closed.
Man.
Yeah, let us know what else is closed. Who else is closed? What's going on? We'd love to hear about it.
Just on break? Weren't the kids just on break?
Yeah. But hey,
they stay out of school, man.
Ain't nothing. They can't control the weather. That's all.
Yeah.
Marlon Harris is giving us a good morning, First Sky family. Happy Hump Day, everyone.
Hump
Appreciate that. It is Hump Day today, isn't it?
Yeah, Hump Day.
Good morning. Stay in if you can. It's rough out there,
man.
It's like 70-mile-an-hour winds or something crazy, man. With this and sleeting and snowing, and yeah, it's supposed to be bad. They didn't treat the streets because of the fact that they said it'll just get washed away before the snow actually comes. Then the snow is going to come, and then there's going to be a little bit of a freeze. So it's kind of wild. But the biggest thing is the blizzard conditions out here. So the high mile-an-hour winds, and it's blowing in the snow sideways almost outside. So yeah, wild, man, wild weather. We was at 80 degrees or something yesterday, day before.
I was just gonna ask that. Yeah, wasn't it just? It was just like 80 something, like just a couple days ago.
I mean, it was like 70. It was like beautiful 70, 73 yesterday. Like really nice. No wind. Good morning, Mama God. Appreciate you. Miss Erica Fell says, I'd like everyone's thoughts on the mayoral candidates. Learn Blue Dot Group is pushing Ewing. Okay. We'll be definitely talk about that. Kimra, who's out of town, globe trotting and doing things. She says, man, my flight leaves today too. She says, I'm ready to get out of this city. DC done you dirty, huh? What's Yeah, appreciate the
Didn't know
report
about
that you sent in Friends of First Sky Omaha. We'll definitely be looking into the stuff that you wrote there. But yeah, I can't wait to hear from you about it. Protests and things going on in DC. I heard it's pretty wild going out there. Safe travels for you for sure. Yep. Yeah, Heather Williams says yesterday was beautiful for sure. Kimber said tough. That's tough on Eric. I'm still thinking about that, trying to be logical and real. What y'all talking about? We'll go back and check out
What
your
they talking about? They ain't talking about nothing. What they talking about? They ain't talking about
Ain't
nothing.
talking about them. RG in the chat. I ain't seen that name in a minute.
Hey.
Yesterday's a distant memory right now because this weather is wild. That's what's up. Mama Guy said lots happened at the DMV. What's going on at the DMV? I love our chat, always bringing us the information and a lot of things like that. I can't wait to talk to the chat more about what's happening around town. We'll definitely do it. But before we do that, we're going to jump into a little bit of community news. Get rolling on some of that. Of course, we already talked about all the alerts and all the things going on for the weather. The weather's bad. Please try to stay in. Check on your loved ones. Really, really, really bad outside. And don't take it. I'm not the one to do the weather reports around here. I think I'm gonna start leaving that to Buddy because you
Man.
have a more even head about what's being said. I look outside, I see death.
Hide your kids. Hide your kids.
I'm ready to start breaking up the furniture and start burning it for warmth when I look outside and see some mess like I seen today. So yeah, and it always comes back, feels silly because it always comes back and it wasn't as bad as they said it was going to be or whatever the deal, you know what I mean?
How it goes. Usually how it goes.
But we're gonna definitely got thunderstorms going on right this minute, lights flickering, things happening. So if the show goes off, you know why. But yeah, that's what's going on. So let us know what kind of situation you are in. Kids staying home. What's going on with the shutdowns and all that stuff. Love to hear about it. Also, we talked about a few things that's going on. There's a town hall that's happening today at IBEW Local 22 is happening tonight at 7 o'clock. I don't know if you guys had any more information on this, but this is the CD2 Community Town Hall that's going on. And again, anything that we're talking about that's happening, it might not be happening because of the weather. So I'll definitely check first. But this is Nebraska for Us is the organization putting on this town hall. I definitely think there's, I'm going to promote it anyway, just in case it does happen, because CD2 does need a whole lot of discussion with as many candidates that are running for the seat and so on and so forth. So we'll definitely put that out there.
Really quickly, IBEW is the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. So shout out to all the union workers, and I got a couple electrician, cousins and things and family members.
Yeah. You almost got into some of that, didn't you?
Yeah, carpentry. I think I might still have my union card, but yeah. Shout out to the.
Love it. That's what's up, man. Also, pay attention to these important dates coming up. We're past the 17th now, so now we're looking at that March 21st date, last day to register in person at the election office, last day for officials to receive a request for a mailed early voting ballot. And remember, everything is leading up to April 1st, which are the primaries. So get to know the candidates, spend that time. Flatwater Free Press just put out their voter guide. So go to flatwaterfreepress.org and check that out, because that'll give you a good opportunity to get to know the candidates better as well. Of course, we've had a few candidates on already. And like you said, we got a series of videos that are coming out that are having deeper discussions with those candidates so we can get to know them better as well. But yeah, time to start making some decisions. The primaries are coming up April 1st. Be here before you know it. Big time. Also, don't forget about the Black Literacy Conference that's going on March 19th. This is today, the 21st. Again, I would definitely check, because of the fact that the weather might be bad. They might be pushing this back. Not quite sure. I tried to look for messages, didn't see anything. So as far as I'm concerned, it's probably still going on. Definitely check this out. We'll put some more information in Friends of First Sky Omaha for you on that. But yeah, shout out to everybody who's putting in work on this Black Literacy Matters conference. Being really something to look forward to as well. So yeah, it gets down. And let's see what else we got here. I think that's it for now. We'll leave it there. We'll come back with a few more haps a little later on the show, some things that we're talking about as well. Shout out to IB Black Girl for all the things that they're doing. Every time I go to their page, got something new happening. This Celebration World Doula Day is coming up on Saturday the 22nd. So this is in a few days. March 22nd is coming up in Lawrence Gardens. So definitely go to IB Black Girl's page and find out about this event. if you're so inclined, Doula Day celebration. I think we don't celebrate doulas enough in a big way. So shout out to IB Black Girl, who is always on the forefront of this kind of event as well. So yeah, happening at Lawrence Gardens, March 22nd, 12 to 3. Supposed to be nice this weekend, so maybe we'll see about getting out there.
Again, it's gonna be 80 again. It just the pendulum swings, huh?
Pendulum swings. Speaking about closers, looks like Miss Seckerfeld is in the chat is saying it didn't close in case someone had to work, because I hate making that call just for it to end up lovely. Out, but thankfully all clients told me they're staying home. So again, this is our resident child care facility, child care purveyor here in the chat, who is saying the baby's staying home because yeah, weather's bad. Parents didn't want to bring them out. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm thankful too. We don't want any accidents and things like that going on. So yeah, man. And that'll do it for right now. Like I said, we'll talk more about some more community things that are coming up a little later on in the show. But let's jump into today's topics of conversation. Turn it over to Buddy. And yeah, let's see what we're gonna be talking about today, Buddy. What's happening?
Man, well, kind of teeing off. Of course, we have our special guest today, Sister Precious McKesson. We politicking with P, kind of looking ahead and previewing the upcoming election, especially our D2 situation. Again, a lot of candidates. Would you say 9 different candidates in D2? Very, very interesting to hear and see what they all have to say. But also, as Paul mentioned, we are in the process of interviewing and talking to and videotaping every candidate, especially for city council. I don't know if we'll get to the mayoral candidates, but definitely look out for city council. And yeah, definitely interested in seeing what everybody has to say as far as the issues. So we'll kind of minds heavy on that. As I mentioned, I'm neck deep in the edits right now for some of those videos. So just hearing the feedback from the different candidates is heavy on my mind, and it seems to be heavy on everyone's mind. Shout out to our partners over at Flatwater Free Press. They just released their voter guide. So again, if you're interested in that kind of thing, definitely go check it out. Also, I believe League of Women's Voters should be dropping their voter guide pretty soon if they haven't already. So kind of looking through those things. Definitely would love to hear you'll take a little bit, Paul, without getting too deep into it. Again, as you're the one interviewing and speaking to these candidates, just kind of get what your feel is of how things are going so far, where candidates are. A few people talking about the mayoral candidates. But yeah, what about your city council? And kind of curious, just a quick poll, like what district is everyone in? I'm kind of curious as far as where's our audience, who are your candidates, what district are you in? And yeah, how are you feeling about what you're seeing in the candidates out there in the chat? So let us know about that. Again, we'll be talking to Precious about that a little later on. But a few other things that people are bringing up on Friends of that I am teeing up and seeing connections to everything that we've been talking about here on the show. You kind of mentioned, I'm seeing Sister Kimra in the chat. I do want to go back to some of the things that she's saying about her trip to DC. We kind of consider her a part of the fam, part of our co-host situation, a correspondent. Definitely love her reports as far as what's going on in DC, which I think Mama Guy was talking about, not the DMV, Paul, but DMV as far as DC, Maryland, and Virginia. Yeah, again, Sister Kimra out there in DC. Safe travels back to Omaha. But again, definitely would love to look into what it is that you experience and what you witnessed while out there, not just what's going on in the halls as far as the Department of Education situation, but also what's going on in the streets. Yeah, definitely love to see and talk about more about the Palestine situation. We haven't really talked about it, but Brother Anthony Rogers Wright, who is also running for city council, chimed up about it on Friends of. If you missed his post, and we've been talking about Cop City here, and there is a connection with that. There's actually been some movement recently about Cop City as far as the residents out there in that area where they're trying to place it going to a vote. That situation is going to a vote. So some updates on that and more. Of course, if there's anything on your hearts and minds that we're not talking about, feel free to drop that into the chat. Let your mind be free. Let your voice be heard. Kind of a morning check-in. In the meantime, between time, fell about 15 minutes into this thing. Paul B.
Yo.
What's the word? What's on your mind?
RG is back with his catchphrase, Mean Gene out the paint. He says, Streetcar Sally got to go.
Okay, not filming Streetcar.
Ready for a new mayor, for real. Kimber Snipes is saying, I'm in Danny Begley's district. She says,
Okay.
I have a meeting coming up with the person running against him. Cool. So do we. So we gonna be doing a whole lot of videotaping. So appreciate that. She says, I've also met with the person who's running against Ron Hug. Okay, cool. So you get doing a lot of meetings too. I need to go with you. Go ahead and get these
Man.
videos knocked out. they they responding to your meetings and ain't getting me back with these doggone interviews I'm trying to do. So yeah, I appreciate that very much. There is a lot of districts right now. I think it was a total of 21 people running for city council, and 21 in all the districts. And if you really think about what's happening, 9 of those 21 is just in District 2 alone. So that's really still really significant. I'm really interested in knowing and learning about why there's so many people running, and so it's really interesting to have these interviews and talk to people about what they think the problem of North Omaha is and why they ran, and it's would be interesting to see. Be interesting to see. Spoke to Ben Gray yesterday. Had an interview with Ben Gray yesterday, which was interesting because I've never interviewed him, and just to hear, the reasons why he decides he wants to run. And it's not just because he wants to take care of some things, but it's also because he wants to be able to infuse the younger generation with the connections and the wisdom and stuff that he got as well. It was a pretty interesting conversation. It's been interesting conversations with everybody. Everybody's been really holding their own as far as what they're standing on for the most part. You listen to them individually, it's something else. You listen to them in a debate, then you get a whole different feeling. So yeah, this is what I'm gathering right now, kind of on an overall level when I'm talking to people that I'm talking to. But there's a lot more to talk to, a lot more things to talk about, and other districts. I appreciate you putting that out there. I would love to hear about what district our chat chimers are in too. Who's the person running in their district, and find out if you're interested in that as well. Like I said, First Sky Omaha, the YouTube page is going to house all of the interviews that we are recording and editing now. So stay tuned for that. Big time, big time. Also, let's see. Kimmer's in the chat. Oh, I see Brother Ping in the chat as well. I appreciate that. He said something earlier about education being an issue. I appreciate your comment there. Kimmer is in the chat saying it's partially a sign of healthy democracy angering, which I get, but people are still interested. She says, I'm glad to hear to clear it up for y'all. I'm definitely love my North and South Omaha. I heard that. That's what's up. She says, if we could find a way to make that create some energy in the community, it could be a good thing. Love that. Majority of those candidates have some true love and care for North Omaha and its people.
Okay.
I'm definitely getting this. I'm definitely getting that. I appreciate that. Good morning, Miss Gwen Easter. Also, she says, "Amen, Paul. There's power in sitting down and just chopping it up. It
Hey,
really
conversation.
is. Yeah, having that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I get that. That's exactly how I'm feeling, Kimmer. Overall, I'm feeling like it's exciting that people feel fired up enough to even go try to do something wherever they're standing on everything. We're not going to agree on everything all the time, but the fact that they are stepping up, I always give respect to people who decide they're going to move things around in their life to step up and try to lead and try to do something. So it's been interesting for sure. Let's take a quick break and we'll come back and jump into some conversation. Like I said, we're anticipating our special guest coming through, Miss Precious McKesson, Politicin with P.
Hey.
History making P in the house. The Elector. We'll be right back, y'all. Stay tuned. Again, are you listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning?
In the morning.
Yep, my name is Paul B. He is Buddy the God.
Hey, Paul B.
Hey, stay tuned, y'all.
Hello, Omaha and Lincoln voters. This is Precious McKesson with the Nebraska Democratic Party. The mayoral and city council elections in Omaha will take place on April 1st, and municipal races in Lincoln will take place on April 8th. Early ballots will be mailed in Omaha on March 17th, as well as in-person voting will begin. Early ballots in Lincoln will be mailed on March 24th, and in-person voting will begin March 24th. Remember to sign and return mail-in ballots before April 1st for Omaha and April 8th for Lincoln. Visit nebraskademocrats.org for more information on candidates and voting procedures. Paid for by
Lead poisoning in children under 7 is scary, but it's also 100% preventable. Not only can lead be found in paint and soil, it can be found in many common spices, certain baby foods, and brought home from job sites. Children with lead poisoning might not show any symptoms until their levels are dangerously high. So ask your healthcare provider for a lead test for your child. You can help prevent lead poisoning in children. Brought to you by Douglas County Health.
Welcome back. Restream. I wonder if Elon Musk runs this Restream. Those come in here messing with stuff.
Oh man.
Yeah. Apologize for the tech fumble there, but yeah, you never know what these programs are gonna do, man. Messed up. But yeah, appreciate everybody that's joining us today. Thanks for joining us and coming on back at 7:21 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, we're definitely talking about some things that's going on right now during this season 2B, the ballot and the bullet. It is the season of the election. Yeah, just want to remind everybody about these very important dates that are coming up. Of course, March 21st, last day to register in person at the election office, last day for officials to receive a request for a mailed early voting ballot. Then, of course, March 31st will be the last day of early voting at the election office. And April 1st, primary day, polls open at 8. You gonna be able to take the day off? What's your schedule? What you gonna do? It's gonna be 8 to 8. So hopefully everybody will get down there and get down. They say that they don't really vote too much in the primaries as much as the generals. But we kind of figured out by talking to some of the people that we've been talking to, primaries are very important as well.
They are.
Do not skip the primaries, right?
Because you sit out on the primary and then you get to the general and like, oh, the candidate that was actually the best candidate didn't make it through the primary because you sat out.
There you go. Right on. Before we get to the conversation, Miss Erica Feld is giving us some information here. She says all children in Douglas County who attend an in-home child care are eligible for free lead testing. All in-homes child care businesses are also eligible for free lead testing of the home. Appreciate that information. We do get hit up a lot. From the agencies that are responsible for trying to get this lead remediated out of our land, out of our paint in the house, all these different places. And it's because we're kind of on the verge of handling it. I feel like this is one of these environmental things that we can control a little bit because we're real close to getting it done. And so everybody participate. There are ways out there for you to be able to, for free, get the lead remediated. Restream is tripping, bro.
Hey, did you say something about lead?
Man, right. the Restream AI is messing with us. But you can give a health department a call, 402-444-7825, or you can hit that fightled.org, or you see the QR code there too. So man, prevent lead poisoning in children, especially. We all know that it affects behavioral issues. It gives people behavioral issues if they have lead poisoning, and that's contributed. And the fact that we have been surrounded by lead facilities in North Omaha has been permeated by lead. We have to take all this action to get this out. So appreciate that, Mama God. Miss Erica Felt, also for letting us know that. Yep. With that, let's go ahead and jump in. I see one more. Mama God said, you will know if those they show up is marshals and FBI. Wow. Yeah, man. That was
It's been a couple stories of some buildings those have been taken in, still wreaking havoc in the area. So
they're fighting back though. A lot of judges are saying it's unconstitutional. They trying to get them in trouble for doing what they did. So we'll see how that pans out.
A little bit. Now real quick, before we move on, actually real quick, comment on the lead poisoning situation and just the testing, really urging people to take advantage of the testing, because you don't know. Speaking of Trump, you don't know what, how the EPA situation will work out if they haven't, DOGE hasn't already come for the EPA. So again, that whole situation is being funded by the EPA, which is considered the Omaha, especially North Omaha area. If you've seen it on the graphic, a super fund site, which means that it is eligible for certain funding from the federal government. So again, let's take advantage while that money is still there before Trump's Doge dries it up.
Speaking of which, I did hear a little rumor about the DED not getting funded, the DED getting shut down. Don't have any confirmation on that. Has anybody heard this? Something that I'm going to dig into today, because there's a lot of people out there that are still getting checks from the DED from those ARPA funds. And if that gets cut off because of Doge, it's going to be tough. It's going to be another tough situation. Yeah, big time.
Man. Run my ducats. Ducats. But yeah, moving along. Actually, today I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about public safety.
Yeah, absolutely.
A little bit. Starting with a report, I guess you can say, just letting the people know to keep an eye out, be vigilant. We do have a young sister that is missing in the community. Starting with that, speaking of public safety, because this is, if we can't keep our young youth, women, young men, young women safe from, going missing, then we got some work to do. So I definitely want to ring the alarm of the missing sister, Celia Lemaire, who is 18. She is American Indian or Alaskan Native, female, of course, brown eyes and hair. Her height is 5'3", about 105 pounds. She was last seen on the 13th, so close to a week ago. Again, as you see on your screen, Celia was last seen wearing a white t-shirt, khaki pants, and either black or orange and white shoes. Celia has her nose pierced. So again, if you see this young sister or somebody who might look like her, you can call the number 402-444-4877. Again, 402-444-4877 if you have more information. So again, definitely wanted to start with that one. Spread that around. I believe we got that from Sister Precious. So big shout out to her for sharing this. And let's ring the alarm.
This one is getting around. Appreciate everybody that dropped in Friends of First Sky Omaha. Appreciate being on Precious' page. And this got around really fast. So it just goes to show me that the social network that we have on our social media pages pretty strong, man. Something like this happens, it really gets around to everybody really fast. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully that helps get to some action on these things.
Yeah, man. Also, in other news, I definitely wanted to jump into and shout out IB Black Girl, who's putting in the work. Before we get too deep into the show, definitely wanted to give them some light, give them some shine. Again, we talked about the doula day that they have coming up, but they're fingers and hands in all kinds of things, not just that, but also helping women transition from prison, which is something that is, again, close to our heart here at First Guy Omaha. The work that we're doing with, again, shout out to Diane Good Collins over at MCC, the one Rap 180 reentry program. Getting down, but also IB Black Girl putting in the work as well. According to IB Black Girl in this report from WOWT, about 81,000 women are released to communities without ways to support them, and that's why the nonprofit created the New Home Community Advisory Committee, which the goal is to find stable housing for those coming from the women's prison in York, Nebraska, and their children, and when they're trying to reintegrate, when they're trying to reunify with your children, and when you're trying to navigate employment and all other barriers. If you don't have housing, it's pretty much obsolete. That's according to Sister Raquel Henderson, who is a powerhouse in her own right outside of IB Black Girl. Shout out to Sister Raquel Henderson. If you don't follow her on Facebook, do so, especially if you're looking for a gig, looking for a job. She got the hookup.
Jobinista.
Man, the Jobinista. I like that. But continuing, Henderson says, it took me almost 2 years to be able to dig myself out of the hole of being gone to be in a position to rent. And even when it did, it wasn't an ideal placement, but it was something. Reentry needs to start while you're inside. There needs to be individuals that are allowed to go inside the prison and mentally and emotionally prepare individuals for the reentry process. So again, shout out to Raquel Henderson, IB Black Girl, and those working on reentry. Again, this is not necessarily a city council situation, as we'll be talking with Precious a little later on with the municipal as far as what's happening in the prisons, but definitely want to talk about community relations with the police, and because that is one part of that, whole equation. Oh, okay. What is that? Definitely part of the whole equation as far as the community relations with police and And this has kind of got my mind going based on some of the comments that we see Maggie Miller Jenkins acknowledge what's going on in Palestine. Of course, Sister Camera was just in DC. She definitely check out the video on Friends of First Sky Omaha, where they're protesting Palestine. And then of course Brother Anthony Rogers Wright, who's also running for city council, who made a very interesting connection between the responsibility of Omaha and what's going on in Palestine. And again, I'm thinking of the Cop City, because that's definitely a conversation that we've been having here on the show recently. And that is something that is connected to that situation. For those who aren't aware, again, Cop City is a area where large campuses around the nation where police are training, practicing. I don't even feel like training is the right word, but it's almost like war games. If you I would even say not quite almost, it is like war games, given the connection between local police forces around the nation and Israel, and the training that's going on at these Cop cities, and it's coming to an area around Omaha, which is definitely something. I'm not sure, Paul, again, I would love to hear your take as you're talking to these candidates, what they're saying about police, police interactions. I know that is one of the questions we're asking as far as public safety. But I do know Anthony Rogers Wright, who is running for city council, did make a statement as far as the connection between running for city council, the connection between Omaha, the Omaha police, Omaha City Council, and Israel, kind of drawing the line back to when at the time Senator Ernie Chambers, spoke up about being vocal and being one of the vocal ones about apartheid, and having a lead in that, and the role that Nebraska was able to play because local voices spoke up and spoke out. As far as police relations, what are you hearing from candidates in general?
Yeah, so far it's been all over the board. So there's in the beginning I was hearing a lot of the repeating this idea that we are 100 police officers short and we need more police officers. I've been trying to be real specific, especially in District 2, to ask the candidates, do they think this we need more police officers in District 2? Where you going with that? Some are really leaning towards more community policing, and that's been big on their agenda. Some people don't agree with the fact that we need more police officers. Some think that we ought to shrink the budget and put some of that into maybe some mental health facility, or not mental health facilities, but mental health help. People that can go on calls instead of police officers, and so on and so forth. So it's been all over the board, but so it's been interesting. The candidates that I talked to that are agreeing with what the mayor has been saying about us being 100 officers short, and the different reasons why they think that that's the case, or why they support that idea and why others don't. So it's been all over the board right now. We'll definitely have some links to our interviews with these candidates so that you can see for yourself what they had to say on those things. But yeah, for the most part, it's kind of, for the ones that I've talked to so far, it's been both directions. So yeah, we'll definitely we'll definitely get into that more. I definitely see the chat going up. I appreciate appreciate your bringing that article out, buddy, and getting that conversation started. We're going to go ahead and jump past that. There's a lot of conversation going on in the chat in a lot of different directions. I appreciate everybody who's commenting, and I'm trying to pull out the ones that are commenting on some of the things that we're talking about right now. But that's getting deep because it's getting thick in here in the chat. So, and also we got a special guest waiting in the wings. So we're going to go ahead and bring our special guest waiting in the wings right now. And we'll talk to her, and we'll come back to your chats after that. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Miss Precious McKesson is in the house with us. Good morning.
Hey,
good morning.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Coming through loud and
Cool.
clear. Yeah. Okay.
Cool,
How you
cool.
doing?
I'm good. How are y'all?
Can't complain.
Long
Definitely.
time no see.
Yeah. Glad to see you. Glad to speak to you. How's the campaign season been to you? I know you've been busy.
Yeah, I've been busy. Just it started. We don't ever get a break.
Yeah.
And so in January we had to elect new leadership in the DNC. So I worked on both of those teams to help elect a new chair for the DNC, as well as help Jane with the ASDC. And then we got back in here. I don't know what that
No.
On my screen, I don't know what it is, but anyways, check in and just continue to do the work. And so yeah, it's been pretty good.
Good. Hey, before we get started, just want to let the chat know. We got Precious here. In the past, we've let things get a little heated in the chat. We're not going to do that this time around. What we want is to be able to have a conversation with her, ask some questions, ask some good comments. Let's really let's get down there.
We okay, Paul? God got me. We okay. Look here.
Hey, this is my show. I got to say what I got to say.
I know. Let me tell you, I'll be honest with you. I've been honest, Paul, ever since when we traveled to DC in January, and I took Taylor with me because it was her 21st birthday, and I wanted her to celebrate her birthday in DC with myself. I didn't want her here. And our flight landed at 3:00. And 5 hours later, the flight from Wichita, Kansas was crashed.
My God. Are you serious?
Yes.
Yeah, on that day.
The same day. So let me tell you, kid, nothing. Tell me. So I tell people that I am blessed and highly favored and covered. Because that same day when we got to our hotel that was on the Potomac, I literally opened up the window to say, "Oh, let's see our view." And there was a helicopter, and it was because we were right by Georgetown, right off the Potomac. And I said, "Whoa, that I've never seen a helicopter that low." And literally 5 hours later, we were at the National Harbor, and phones just started ringing. And we're like, "What is going on? What is going on?" And instantly said a plane had crashed. And the first thing I went to thinking was about the people from Kansas who are from the delegation. And literally we had to drive past that scene. And then Taylor decided to go home on Sunday. This was fly home Monday. She said, "No, Mom, I got to get back to school." And I was against it. I was like, "No, we just gonna fly together." And she kept saying, I'm gonna be okay. And she flew home. And then I flew home that Monday. And knowing that when we got into that airport, we could see that whole entire scene, and that the whole entire the plane was right there still in the water. And they were lifting that plane to remove the remaining 12 passengers from that flight.
Oh my
God. And we had to go past that. And so sitting there watching that and being on that flight, I tell you, I'm covered. I'm good. So let's get into this. Let's get into this. It's a whole new thing. And I haven't traveled since then. I've been kind of like in my, I was supposed to go to Florida and I canceled it. I just was like, I'm not ready. And so soon I'll be ready to travel again. But that did something to me. And just knowing 5 hours before we landed at 3 and that flight landed at 8:30.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I was supposed to fly to Texas. Yeah. So, man, safe travels to those who are out there, are going to and fro. And thank you for sharing that story. It's the kind of thing that definitely changes your perspective on things.
Man,
it does. So now, now I'm like this. I'll pull up, show up. I don't care. Look here.
There you go.
And that's gonna stop me. I got a body armor around me.
hey, man. Yeah, makes the lemonade taste a little more sweeter.
Yes, it does. It does. It makes you look at life a lot different and looks at the small things to a giant.
There you go.
Prayers, Kimra. I'm thinking about you getting on this plane. Oh man,
she good. She covered. My girl covered.
Right. She always stay prayed up. Okay. Hey.
That's what's up. Put Sean McCarthy in the chat. Good morning to you, man. He says, "Morning, Precious. Awesome organization from Saturday's Tim Waltz event. What was your takeaway from Walt's discussion?"
Yeah. Let's start there. People were asking about that. How'd that go?
Man, it went good. And I just tell y'all, that was a 48-hour notice. I literally, not even 48 hours. I literally got a call Wednesday. Well, I kind of heard the rumblings, but we didn't know because there was some other stuff that was going on. And then Wednesday night at like 9:00, I got a text talking about it's on. I said, huh? I was like, yeah. So we had to move fast and get a venue and didn't want it in a hotel ballroom, so we were able to use Metro Community College, and they were so gracious And then Jazari came through last minute. Like I called Jazari on Friday at 6:00. I was like, oh my gosh, I need a photographer. I need a live stream because I knew that so many people wanted to be there and couldn't. Right. And he called me back. He's like, I got you. And then him and Vince pulled up from Lincoln and they put everything together. It was beautiful. The people were beautiful. The conversation was great. My takeaways, it's something about Tim Walz. Well, say Governor Tim Walz. We put some respect on his name. It's something about him from the first time I met him when he came to speak here in Nebraska at one of our dinners. And he's just been genuine in his authenticity, like everything that he says, he talks about. But then you also look at the progressiveness of Minnesota and what they've done there. And I know that it's not just one person who's done that work. It's been a group, a state effort. And so what I took away of the conversation, number one, is that we're in a really bad place right now with this current administration. We have to fight back and we got to stop being nice. And I think the whole thing with Chuck Schumer and what he did, it pisses me off because this man, the government's already closed. People are losing their jobs and you didn't negotiate nothing. You should, what did you negotiate with him? You could have did something for us. You could have put something on the table. And so
wait, before you go any further on that, for people that don't know, Chuck Schumer, Democrat, basically he co-signed on what Trump was doing. This is the catalyst for what Simone Sanders said on the show the other day about her trying to leave. I think that she was very upset about that. And I was going to ask you about this. It seems like Democrats are very upset at Schumer for this situation. Could you expound on that just a little bit so we can know why everybody's so hurt?
Because, what he signed on to do was he said, okay, I want the government to be open. The government's closed. You're firing people. And I do see what they say, oh, well, we got to keep it open. But I also say we're closed. You're firing people. You fired so many people in the Department of Education. You fired people at the VA. You have went after people who are in the military. And so it's like he signs on to say that this budget or whatever is okay. And it's like, it's not okay, And so a lot of Democrats were caught off guard. Some felt they weren't on the same page. And I've just checked out when it comes to that part, because I feel like I shouldn't say I checked out, just like it's just frustrating and it's just disappointing. And so, these are the same people who said that Joe Biden was too old. Well, it's time for y'all to go. I said it. I've been saying it. And I was like, the same folks that was talking about Joe was too old are the same folks doing bullshit right now. Excuse my language. So it's like, it's just not. It's like bowing down to him and Elon Musk and what they're doing, and I don't think it's right. And they should have stood a little bit stronger. And I was to say, we got to be a lot stronger in what we're doing. It's not going to take. I'll be honest. It's not going to take the cards, the showing. We got to be stronger. We got to make sure in these midterms that we are electing more Democrats. We got to go. We got to be strong. You got to stop playing you got to get in the sandbox and kick some sand in their eyes. Quit being nice and, oh, let me wipe it off for you. Like, gosh, that's what they're doing right now.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad to hear you say that, because I definitely hear a lot of people saying that the Democratic Party in general has been very, very kind of low key on it, and really kind of trying to fight fire with, I don't even know what, kindness. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that you're saying that people need to get a little more bold, more wild. We need to battle because look what happened. Look, all parts of government are catering to what's going on here, and even some Democrats. So yeah, I hear you.
And I also, I was talking to my team yesterday, and we were talking about the people who lost their jobs. And the one thing that I've been very because I've had friends who worked in Department of Education who are career service workers who have lost their jobs, and some who've been there for 20 something years. Some said, you know what, I can retire at the end of March. As we're talking to them, I just don't want those people to be exploited, because again, they lost a lot. And so they're going through a lot. But then also I think about the stories that are not being told of the people who have most likely who have taken their lives because they've lost their jobs or they've lost everything, and the people who are hurting and the things that are going on, and no one's talking about that. And I think that's something that we need to talk about. This is bigger than Democrat, Republican. This is about people's livelihood. This is about people who careers, who have children, who can't now send their children to college, who are just don't understand what they're going to do. And I think people are forgetting that, but everybody else, up on Capitol Hill is still collecting a check.
That's
my issue.
I'm so glad you're saying that, because it has been very political. Oh, the government's gonna get shut down, or oh, Doge is over here cleaning this whole thing out. I even seen some fools online from that I thought were friends of mine that were like, "Go ahead, Elon, clean it out," And you're right. Nobody's talking about the fact these people are losing their jobs, their livelihoods, and it's a seriously messed up thing. Been hearing a rumor in the news lately about some judges that are saying that what Elon and Doge is doing is unconstitutional. They're trying to go ahead and take some action there. Can you speak on any of the action being taken against this stuff?
Well, I mean, as you see with the Supreme Court, they're standing strong, like saying, no, you can't do this, you can't do that. This is illegal and unconstitutional. I think they have to do that. Like, you have to put your oath before your party. You took an oath to protect and to be able to the law is the law, and you are supposed to uphold that law. And at this point, what they're doing is illegal. I mean, I'm not going to call these young people names because it doesn't work. But you have people who have no experience, who've never had a real job, who most likely was living in their mom's basement, eating Crustables every day. Uncrustables. I don't know. Now you got them digging into our personal information. Like, come on now. Like, really? And then they're impacting us. Like, it's frustrating. I think about how people don't have food to eat. Their medical is being cut. They have, you have people who don't know cancer treatment for kids. Like, come on, like, where's the humanity at? Where's the humanity? And they think getting out there and it's frustrating. And we have families of our immigrant families who are scared to go outside their homes because even if they do have status, they could still be targeted.
Right.
I mean, it's crazy. Like, when we start seeing the thing, it's like, oh, they're in ISIS in South Omaha. They're here. That's a fear that no one should have to talk about. And I think also schools need to talk about how the attendance dropped in certain communities because you had immigrant families whose kids were scared to go to school because they were the fear of being separated from their parents.
Hey,
or somebody being able to let them in to come in and take them out of the school. Come on now. They should have been taking Melania too with them while they was doing it.
They talked a lot about the fact that the biggest industry in Nebraska and Iowa, agriculture. How many workers are out here working? How many workers walked off the job? There's farmers that are really mad about what's going on out here too. But it seems like they still always are going back to the side.
They always going back them, but it's like these same people that are hiring the people to do these jobs, and they walked off. These are the same people that voted for these people, voted for Trump. And now you mad because your workers don't want to come to work with the fear that you going to let ICE come in and take them?
Man.
No, you get out there and pick them tomatoes.
That's wild. That is so wild.
But they say if you're not in the trenches with your staff and don't know how to do the job, then you're in the wrong position because you should be in the mud with them. So, sir, go get your family up, and now it's time for y'all. It's harvest time.
3 o'clock in the morning.
3 o'clock in the morning. Pack your lunch.
Wind, sleep,
it's harvest time.
Right.
Yes. So now you want to be sympathetic to the immigrant individuals' needs now because now they're not doing the work for you. No, you should have been thinking about that when you was voting for somebody in office because now you done FAFO'd.
FAFO'd. I heard that.
I'm trying my best to be nice today.
I appreciate you.
That's going on.
Buddy, when you tee up a question, I'm gonna go in the chat before you do that. Anthony Rogers right in the chat said essentially Schumer whipped 10 more Senate Dems to avert a filibuster to pass the continuing resolution giving Trump and the GOP massive budgetary power through September 30th. Yep. Mama God said Schumer said give control to Trump to do what they want and reopen when Trump wants. What's that mean? Heather Williams said he bent the knee. Sean McCarthy said it seems that a strategy's out there of recommending Dems just step away and let Trump royally screw everything up. But the only problem with that strategy is people are currently getting hurt. So it's about the people. It really is about the people, which is unfortunate. that we're not concentrating on that. And I'm glad you brought that out, because even I be thinking in those terms. The people are suffering, but I'm not even in as granular as you got on. People's medical is falling apart. Their kids' treatments, they got no jobs, no income. They can't buy food. Food is already too expensive, and now they ain't got no job. For a party that's all about work hard and have a job and so on and so forth. Don't get no free health care, but get health care from your job because you're working, and then to wipe all these jobs out. It sounds crazy to me too.
Yeah.
It's wild.
And then you have, I'm getting tons of calls from Republicans, like emails, like, I mean, they're like, what are y'all going to do? Like, this is crazy. I'm a Republican and this is impacting me. And it's like, you have to be sometimes. I mean, I feel like just because somebody's a Republican doesn't mean that they don't hold the same values as me, So having those conversations, it's like it is about humanity. But again, these are a lot of these stories that we're hearing online. These are TikToks. These are the same people that voted for him, and it's like, how do we not? You can't have sympathy, but I have to think of the other people. But it's like, look, we told y'all this was going to happen. Y'all thought Project 2025 was Cliff Notes.
Man,
it was a plan. They executed it. Day one.
Brother Pena in the chat says it's time for Democrats to wake up, where the lobbyists are working class and the working poor and those who cannot defend themselves. And excuse my last comment. Okay, we'll go back to your last comment later. Stuart Knight in the chat says, as flawed as the government is, imagine what black people's condition would be if our condition was left up to the states.
Depending on the state you live in.
Man. Depending on the state. On the state. As a matter of fact, before we get to the next comment, buddy, what's the parallel of being in Atlanta? You feel like Atlanta's feeling the same thing? Does it really depend on the state? Are you seeing such a difference between Omaha and Atlanta when it comes to these subjects?
I don't even think it just depends on the state. I think it also depends on the city, because we have a Democratic mayor. Shout out to Mayor Andre Dickens. And he's been very vocal about speaking out against what Trump is doing, and I don't really see that out here. It really does kind of feel like it's business as usual. But Atlanta's a different place. Like, you gotta remember, Atlanta's one of the only places that didn't shut down during COVID. Like, Atlanta was wide open. People were still chilling. Like, it was regular out here during COVID. So yeah, not really seeing that as far as Atlanta, but as far as what you're saying, the people aspect of it, it's impacting everybody in my family. I'm having conversations with family members and seeing how they're impacted. So it is very interesting to see, how it shifts and changes, like what Precious is saying, based on who's in power in your state and who's in power in your locale, and whether they're going with the foolishness or if they're going to fight it.
Big time. Pops in the chat talking about this is how it was in the days before Hitler. I see Lakeisha Green in the chat. I appreciate she said, nope, Atlanta good. That's what's up. I appreciate everybody in the chat. Precious is absolutely looking at the chat like she knows she ain't supposed to be doing it. But since you are, pull something out for me. What's on top of your head?
So when someone was like, no one thought it was, I'm not controversial, y'all. I'm just stating what I'm feeling. These are my thoughts. I just use that as an example, sometimes I think people just get up to pick to say, oh, well, she said this, but people did think it was not real. People did think that it was a joke. The people that voted for him, the people who look like me, the 8%, the black men, the other people, they did think it was a joke. They thought it was Cliff Notes. They didn't think it was real. And they had a fuck around and find out moment. And now look. And then Marlon asked me, what do I think about the 92% that are sitting out? Baby, take your rest. We are taking our rest. We have always been the backbone. We have always had to pick up the slack. Are we still working? Yeah, we still working, but we not sitting here working. Y'all not about to use us and abuse us no more. We telling y'all how we feel, but again, we still have to work harder. We still have to work 10 times harder still in this work. Big time. But 28 is going to show. 26 is going to show. Also, those midterms are going to show, where people really stand. And I agree. Democrats have to be a lot stronger. We can't keep going along with the same agenda, especially when it comes to black and brown voters. We can't.
Man.
We can't.
Our votes has always been used as a break in case of emergency vote.
And I remember how I told you, I said, we can't do that no more. Like, we got to be strong. And it's going to take getting people elected in there to say, no, y'all have to stop, and get people in there who's not going to sit there and say, oh, well, I'm going to go along with this. Like, we got to. And if it takes removing leadership and telling people like, no, you're done because you're not listening to us and you're caving into what they're saying, then you got to go. Like, it can't do that. And I think with them putting some younger people on the DNC, hopefully, I know Artie, she be ready. David Hogue, Malcolm Kenyatta, like, speak, like, be open, be loud, because we can't keep doing this. We can't.
I feel that.
Can't. But yeah, that 92%, I'm gonna be honest with you. Take your rest. Protect your edges. Protect everything. Like, and when you show up when you want to, you don't have to show up when someone tells you to. Show up when you want to, because it's still gonna be there. You know what I mean? It's like, so it's a lot. It's a lot.
And for those who might not know, what is the 92 referring to?
92% of Black women voted for Kamala Harris. 92% of Black.
It was something like 87% of Black men, right?
85, 87, yeah. I think 85, 87, yeah.
Yeah. More needs to be done for sure. That's one thing I will say is a reoccurring thing that is talked about on the show all the time too. Democratic Party. I think people are wanting the Democratic Party to really, like you saying, like, get tougher, buck up, and really kind of do something. We got about 4 minutes left in the show, so I definitely want to talk a little bit about the primaries coming up. No,
yeah, I was sitting here trying to think of a segue the whole time. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna just let the conversation go. You just gotta let it go. Let it go.
13 days, y'all. 13 days.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah, it's coming up, and you getting a sense that that people are fired up and ready to come vote and get it going. How are you feeling about that?
I do. I feel like I've been staying out that District 2 race. I ain't gonna tell you no lie.
Okay. Okay. Appreciate the honesty.
Yeah, they have given me gray hairs.
Uh-oh.
I love them all. Independents, Democrats, I love y'all. But y'all stress the sister out. But I will say this. Every single one of them that's running, they have a right to run for office, and they have good policy. They're talking with they know it's apparent they feel that something is wrong in the district, and they want to make that change. And I have nothing but respect for them. Yeah,
I got respect for anybody who's running.
Because it takes a lot. Because people, because you're going to be, you're going to be crucified. People going to say things. They see it. They see a need for change. But like I've told them recently, focus on your race and not the petty. Focus on the people and the issues, because you can't go down there with the petty. Because if you start getting petty with the other ones, you outnumbered. So I'm gonna need you to focus on the people, the policy, and the issues. do that, and you'll be good. But we have 2 Democrats running for mayor, Jasmine and John, and I'm very proud of both of them. They've been doing awesome work. They have been killing it on the debate stage. They have let them 2 argue and bicker. And so I just need to make sure that y'all get out there and y'all vote. Y'all vote. We have 2 Democrats, only 2 Democrats in that race. So I need y'all to get out there. You have Jasmine Harris and John Ewing. Get out there and vote.
The doctor not a Democrat? I thought the doctor was a Democrat.
No, he's an independent.
Independent, got it. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
All right. Take that now, this way.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I think Dr. Buer has very good policy issue that he wants to do, but I don't think that they're on the caliber for to be mayor. He should be on. It's more of a board of directors to be able to make some change and to implement some of the things, especially when he's talking about the youth, where he can implement some things within the city. So but I mean, hey, anybody that puts their name on there and collects those signatures, more power to you, because it takes a lot to be able to do that. So I don't take that from nobody, because I've never done it. And I tell people, when people say you're running for office, I said I have a scale 1 to 100%. Where you at? 15%. That means I've been thinking about it, and I write it on a piece of paper, anyways. But so April 1st, you have 13 days. Early ballots have, if you requested an early ballot, those started to be mailed out on Monday, and then you have you can start voting in person right now, as of Monday the 17th, and then in Lincoln you have April 8th for the primary, and you can start early voting on the 24th. And we have 3 Democrats running in city council in Lincoln for at large, and then we have two or three. I gotta think. I think we have 4 or 5. I got to think about school board races in Lincoln. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to think of everybody there. But yes, definitely make sure you get out to vote, because Omaha and Lincoln have their Lincoln has their municipal, and then municipal, Omaha also the mayoral. So, and then then they'll vote for mayor in Lincoln next year. Or 27, one of the two. It's always off. We're always a year or 2 off. It's weird. Yeah, it's weird.
Okay. Well, we appreciate you keeping us posted on all of it. We'll definitely continue to talk. I think first of all, we just miss you coming on. You're always a pleasure to come on and miss you. We miss Politic with P on a regular basis, for real. So, I'm glad that you came through, and I'm glad, and I'm really, really, my takeaway here is that I'm really happy to hear you say, in particular, Democratic Party needs to tighten up, needs to do something about getting tougher in this fight, more, stronger in the fight, and not doing things the way they have been done. A lot of performative stuff. Sometimes it feels like in a big way, but getting tougher.
Yeah. In the fight. You got to get tougher. You just sometimes, like some people like, oh, Press, you don't say. I'm like, sometimes you don't want to like buck the system. You kind of want to. But then I start realizing I'm hireable. You gonna fire me for being truthful?
Right.
Not saying the party gonna do that, but you got people who be like, you're executive director. You're voicing your opinion too much. Just do your job. This is my job.
Right.
like this is my job. Like to tell the truth and tell how I feel. And so I am grateful for that, because I've also been elected as I'm on for vice president for all of the EDs across the nation. And so I'm on the exec committee. And so I now I work with all the executive directors in the 50 states and 7 territories. And so, we stand in strong, because I tell people we are the first line of defense. If we don't stand up and say anything, then people think that it can keep going. So we have the ear of our chairs. We talk to the people on the grounds. We talk to everybody. We are the first people that people come to in the state parties. Let's use our power wisely, and let's be able to talk about what's going on, especially to the people who are on the Hill, who sometimes forget state parties is what got them there. Your state, you're there to represent, so I'm gonna keep fighting the good fight and keep speaking up, and like I say, as long as I'm telling the truth, but like they say, the truth sometimes hurts.
Yeah.
Tell the truth, shame the devil.
Get it together.
No more nudging in 2025. It's all about the push now. So let's get it rolling.
We got to. But I appreciate y'all all always, and keep doing what y'all do. And we gonna make it through, y'all. We gonna make it through. But make sure y'all vote on April 1st in that primary. Please and thank you, so we can go ahead and get onto that general, and it moves fast, because our general is then May 8th and May 13th. So make sure that y'all are ready, because May 13th is the general in Omaha, and then May 8th is the general in Lincoln. So make sure y'all are ready to vote. Top 2 go to the general, and then also before I'm gonna say one thing, on April 17th, I think that's the date. April 17th, North Omaha Neighborhood Alliance, North Omaha Commercial Club, Black Votes Matter, Miller Park, Minnelusa. We will be hosting a candidate forum at the learning community. It is on the NONA page at the Nebraska Early Childhood Collaborative. That will be for the races for District 1, District 2, and the mayoral. So the top 2, whoever go through to the general, we will host a neighborhood forum on April 17th. Starts at 6:00. We'll have food. I think we have room for like 200 there, and we will talk about what's coming up next. So like I say, make sure y'all get out to vote. This will be on our nonprofit side for the neighborhoods, to make sure that we are talking to those who are running to be elected on May 13th.
Send us that info if you would, please.
I will send it to you.
Sounds good. All right. Thank you so much for coming. So good to see you.
Bye, guys. Hey, y'all, be safe, because this weather is crazy out here, man.
Yeah. You do the same.
All right. Have a good one, y'all.
Peace.
All right.
There you go. Yeah. Politicin with P, as always, a pleasure. Getting some gems from her. So yeah, appreciate that.
that'll do it for our show today. It's already 8:04. We're 4 minutes past the time of our agreed upon time to stop. So we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Thank you so much for the chat. There's so much activity going on in the chat today. I appreciate you guys having conversations with each other and now also adding to the conversations that we're having here today, and also giving respect to the guests and not just with the respect, but also with the great questions, the great comments, and the good takeaways. I think there's a good takeaway here for a lot of the things that we have been concerned with, especially when it comes to the Democratic Party. Man, no more kente cloth kneeling. We got to get in here. Gotta get in here and get busy. Fight with the fight. So appreciate it. And I appreciate all of you. Pop says, what a show. Awesome. Thank you. See you Friday. Love you, fam. Appreciate you, Pops. Yeah, man. Buddy, you got some words for the people?
Yeah, I see Mr. Stewart in the chat. Nice to see you back. We've seen a couple. RG came back. So yeah. I appreciate everybody returning and just checking us out, chiming into the chat, even if you've been ghost listening, man. We appreciate the love all the same. And we're gonna keep doing the thing, man. So come on back. Join the conversation every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, right here on First Sky Omaha in the morning. In the meantime, between time, we'll be busy interviewing and speaking to the candidates, so look out for that content. If you haven't already, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube page. That's where you can find that content. Also, make sure you subscribe to the weekly rap newsletter. Comes out every Friday. I see some of you have dipped out, so maybe if you haven't heard about it, haven't joined it, please make sure you join that. Again, weekly rap, the best way to recap everything going on every week right here on First Sky Omaha. All things First Sky, all things Omaha. And with that, Paul B.
Yo.
Take it away, man.
Just also want to put in shout out to Flatwater Free Press for putting in the voter guide. I'm going to go ahead and drop this in the chat as well.
Yeah.
Click on this and check out the very extensive voter guide they got going on. If you want to learn more about the candidates as well, get ready for April 1st. Definitely check this out. And very soon, videos that we are shooting for with the candidates will be attached to this voter guide as well. So we're all working together so we can get to know the candidates. This is what this is all about. And go ahead.
Don't be a fool. April 1st,
April 1st, got to. And don't forget as well, you can always suggest some people that you want to have on the show so we can have them on. We can talk to them face to face as well and ask them questions directly. You can always contact the candidates to ask them questions directly. That's all they're doing all day, every day now is campaigning. So it's a good time to give them a call, speak to them on the phone, ask the questions that you want to directly. And when you do, report back. We'd love to hear about that. So appreciate it. Also, Heather Williams says, great show. Be safe, everyone. I appreciate you. Miss Erica Feld says, think critically, drink water, and be good to yourselves. Great show. Thank you, Miss Erica Feld. I'm glad you got to spend the time with us today watching it and not running after babies and pulling forks out of your hand and everything else.
Right.
Appreciate it.
Exactly.
Precious says, call those candidates. Again, thank you so much, Precious, for coming on. It's always a pleasure. And stay tuned. We have special guests coming on Friday. Definitely check in with us on Friday. And of course, then we'll also be in the Senator Cipher next Monday as well. So I'll be looking for Senator Ashley Spivey, Senator Terrell McKinney coming on next Monday. And we'll have more questions for them as well about what's going on in the legislature and how our efforts of trying to help and trying to support some of these bills and oppose other ones have been helping. We always defer to them for them to let us know whether or not we need to do more and figure out what we need to do. Just in general. So we'll keep it rolling with them until this is the season. Ballot of the Bullet is going down. This is the season. So we got to get in it. And for those of you want a new mayor, do not forget, man, primaries are coming up. Make your decision soon. Primaries are coming up soon. So yeah, let's make it happen. With that, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. And like I said, you guys check us out on Friday. We'll see you. Take care of yourselves. Be careful out here. Try to stay in if you can. Check on loved ones because this thunder's still rolling. So who knows if the electricity is going to go out on you. A couple people it already has that I've talked to. So it's one of them days we got to watch out for each other. So please do. With that, peace. We're out of here.
By the way, Vanglorious. This is protected by the red, the black, and the green. At the crossroad, with the key.
By any means